Bob Irwin and Colin Waddell formed Save Australian Dugongs and Turtles 2 years ago to study why the sea creatures' populations are in decline. In all that time, nobody has brought up the racist issue until Tony Burke decides to wade in on it, said Bob Irwin. Our main concern is for the survival of the animals. He said it was ironic Tony Burke spoke about protecting seagrass beds when he was responsible for approving dredging off Gladstone that destroyed more than 6 kilometres of such beds. Colin Waddell said the pair has never called for a ban on traditional hunting. Now, Alan is on the line. Hello, Alan. You're from ëarthrace Conservation Organisation, is that right?
Yes, Macca. Yeah. I was just calling, mate, because I heard the comments that Tony Burke made about people, conservation icons like Bob Irwin and Ben Crop, saying that they're, like racist.
Yes.
And also that people like myself are amongst the worst elements in Australian society. It's just, to be honest, Macca, I was gobsmacked.
Well, tell me about your position. You're talking about what you see as a threat to a potential threat to dugongs and turtles. What's your position exactly?
My position, I'm Director of Operations for ëarthrace Conservation Australia. We're a global organisation founded by Pete Bethune, who, as everyone knows, risked his life for whales in the oceans, getting cut in half by a whaling ship and so forth. So it's really offensive that Tony Burke can say that people like Pete Bethune and myself are worse in the society. We're pretty offended. It's a slap in the face for all of the hard work that we do. And discussing the dugongs, I've been behind people like Bob Irwin for a long time, talking about a moratorium. Now, a moratorium is just to establish the numbers of dugongs and turtles to find out the sustainability of what happens to them. With nature, things like pollution, and then on top of it, indigenous hunting. They haven't got much of a chance, and we just want to establish a moratorium so we can find out what the real numbers are.
Alan, it was very much to me a cheap stunt. This is the sort of thing that used to get opponents scattering maybe 15, 20 years ago. Oh, the prospect of being called a racist. I'd rather not be part of this debate. I'll just go and hide somewhere. I mean, that used to be the impact. Everyone can see through it now. If you're not part of the debate, if you can't put up an argument, certainly don't throw this in, because it's not going to see people scattering anymore. They've done that in the past, but they've realised it's a ploy and a cheap stunt. In this particular case, all he's done is offend those people who have the greatest of admiration for people like Bob Irwin, for example. And here in North Queensland, Ben Crops is an icon. He's an icon. I mean, people who want to know about the underwater environment go to people like Ben Crop, because nobody seems to know more. Nobody spent more time underwater. And as far as any suggestion that he might be racist is concerned, that's about as insulting as it would come for somebody like Ben Crop, who for years has dealt with the various racial groups or the various Aboriginal groups along the east coast of Australia. So quite clearly, if it was a throwaway line, it's been a huge gaffe. If indeed he's been briefed along these lines, he needs to find somebody else to brief him in future, because he's been very badly misinformed.
Absolutely. I mean, it's insulting. It's a cheap shot, basically. And I mean, animal lovers worldwide are incredibly caring people, and stupidly, I mean, we all vote.
Yeah.
If you want to upset, I mean, how many households in Australia has a cat or a dog or a bird or and there's just so many people that adore animals. Yeah. To call them, amongst the worst elements in Australian society, is just crazy.
Yeah. Good to talk to you, Alan. Thanks for your call. Alan on the line from ëarthrace Conservation, and the time now on 26 minutes past 11. Taking talk back till midday, 1300 872 911.
Traditional tiles.